Our next story is about the hidden tragedy of the Ukraine war. The war between Russia and Ukraine has created a new crisis. It has triggered a significant rise in homelessness at both home and abroad. According to the Charity Depaul International, war damage to 2 million homes has led to massive rise in rough sleepers and millions of refugees, a growing risk in Europe. Although the exact number of homeless people in Ukraine is not known, the report says that more than 3.5 million have been displaced internally since the conflict started in 2022. Not just that, many of the 6.2 million Ukrainian refugees across Europe are also at the risk of homelessness, and that number could rise. Every day, more and more people in Ukraine are losing their homes because of either Russian occupation or because of shelling or because they are close to the front line. According to the United Nations report in February, 2 million homes have been destroyed or damaged. Of the homeless people interviewed by Depaul, 69% were men and nearly half were between the ages of 18 and 45. According to the report, women and children receive more help in the form of public shelters, international aid programs, and refuge abroad. Moreover, male Ukrainian citizens between the ages of 18 and 60 are not allowed to leave Ukraine under wartime conscription laws. But the growing number of homeless people has strained the limited resources for the society's most vulnerable. There is only one government-administered homeless shelter in Ukraine, which is serving central Ukraine. Further, strict rules can often mean that single men or those with addiction problems will be turned away. And that's not even all. Some shelters have also been destroyed during the war. Temporary accommodation is available for people displaced by the war, but securing permanent housing poses significant challenges. And this means that even after the war is over, the problem of war-driven homelessness would persist for years. Meanwhile, Russian forces continue to advance in eastern Ukraine to capture the strategically important city of Pokrovsk. The Russian advance has prompted the evacuation from Pokrovsk of about 20,000 people in just the past 1 month. And this could become a problem for Europe. In fact, on Sunday, the British Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, warned at the Labour Party conference in Liverpool that the challenges posed by the Ukraine war could deepen significantly over the next 2 years. In Hungary, the government recently ended housing assistance for thousands of Ukrainian refugees, designating certain western areas of Ukraine as safe to return despite the ongoing missile strikes by Russia. In the UK, over 9,000 Ukrainian refugee households have been put at the risk of homelessness due to a reduction in the number of hosts offering accommodation. You can't blame that on inadequate local authority support. According to reports across Europe, refugees face bureaucratic hurdles that prevent them from accessing protections and assistance guaranteed under EU laws. In Poland, which initially welcomed nearly 1 million Ukrainian refugees, public sentiment has shifted. It's due to concerns about social benefits. And what's more, this month the country called for an end to EU benefits for men of fighting age, saying it encouraged draft dodgers in Ukraine. And let's not forget the psychological toll of this uncertainty on the people. The charity organization that surveyed the homelessness crisis is urging a shift in how homeless and displaced populations are treated. It has emphasized the need for collaboration between the government, charities, and other organizations to find permanent housing solutions and assist with other issues like medical support. As the war approaches its third year, support for the 6 million Ukrainians living as refugees abroad has also started dwindling. Now, a lot more Ukrainian refugees are at the risk of homelessness, with a major homelessness crisis at home and Russians advancing deeper into Ukraine. President Zelensky has urged allies to let Ukraine fire Western missiles, including long-range US ATACMS and British Storm Shadows. He basically wants his troops to be able to fire them into Russian territory and limit Russia's ability to launch attacks on Ukraine. In fact, Zelensky is expected to reiterate these pleas during his diplomatic visit to the US this week, when he will be meeting Joe Biden. Meanwhile, on the battleground, Russian forces have started storming the eastern Ukrainian town of Vuhledar, another stronghold that has resisted Russian attacks since the beginning of the war. Videos on Russian state media showed Vuhledar, which had a population of over 14,000 before the war, under heavy artillery and aerial bombardment. With allies becoming war-weary and Russians closing in, it looks like the clock is ticking on the Ukrainian forces. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.